Hey Eurovision fans, the Junior Eurovision final is just around the corner on November 26th, so it's about time that I told you what is my top 10 for this year. I think it's a really strong competition, so this was a really tough one to do. I'm going to go through all of my top 10 picks, tell you what I like about them and how I think they could do in Nice. So let's keep going. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So I am planning to do a video talking about who I think could win this year. I'll probably aim to release that on Friday or Saturday because I would like to see some of the rehearsals in person first before I kind of decide who could potentially win. This video is just going to be focusing more on my personal preferences, which songs jumped out and which ones I love this year. Also in this video, I'm going to be using a few of the first rehearsal photos. They're thanks to Corinne Cumming and the EBU, so thank you to them for their awesome photos. Okay, so first up in our number 10 slot, it is Portugal, Julia Machado singing Where I Belong.
To a place that I can call.
So this was actually out of my top 10, but these rehearsal photos kind of made it come alive for me. This gorgeous mauve and purple dress against this emerald backdrop, like a dappled tree effect. Really, really pretty contrast. And on top of that, it looks like Julia's using all of her acting skills. She's on the ground, she's emoting. And that was one of the things I really liked about the music video this year. She seemed really competent in conveying her emotions. It's got a really, really deep meaning behind the song. I love how Portugal just do their own thing. They never have like a strategy for Eurovision where they're gonna like try and play up to certain audiences. They just do their own thing. If you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. That's fine. So I really love this intimate song by a really talented young artist, and I think that she's gonna really elevate this in her performance ability. So for my number 9, we are not going very far at all. We're going to Spain. It's Sandra Valero singing Love You. So this is another one that's going up on my list right now. These rehearsal photos were so exciting. I love this Tintin theme with the aviator goggles, her flying around on a plane with all these suitcases. It's really adventurous and fun and exciting. I used to love this like exploration theme when I was a kid, watching cartoons about traveling to new countries and new places and meeting new people. So I think a lot of kids are going to be really captivated by this theme that they've chosen. It's really clever. She's an amazing performer. She's got this really commanding presence, really confident on stage. The song is really lovely. It's very sunny and fun and carefree. It sounds like a song that would be at the start of a Pixar movie, that kind of like welcoming, inviting feel. It's actually a really good song to open up the show, although I do feel that's a little bit unfortunate because I do feel it would be much easier for Spain to win if they weren't the first song. You know, we've never had a song drawn first that's come better than 4th place, so Spain will have to break that streak if they want to win. But I really like this. This for me is another example of Spain having their renaissance. In the last 2-3 years, I really feel like they've turned a corner. They're understanding the competition more. They're sending better quality. They're sending songs that feel Spanish as well. I feel like this has got a great, fun, sunny Spanish identity. This one's currently moving up. Could it go higher? I'll have to wait and see. So now it's time for my number 8. And speaking of someone who's flying, we're going to Georgia. It's Anastasia and Renina singing Over the Sky. So this was actually much higher initially when I listened to it. I love the traditional feel, these kind of theatrical medieval costumes. I love all the visuals with Anastasia in her fashion and then the boys accompanying her as well. So just giving a little bit of a different feel from everyone else because there aren't that many boys in the contest this year. Kind of traditional sounding chant singing behind her. So I initially loved that. I had to admit that it kind of got stuck in my head, but in a quite like annoying way that I couldn't get out of my head at all, and for that reason it's kind of dropped a little bit. I still think it's going to stand out massively because it's got this traditional element, it's got a different look and feel. Georgia's got an amazing record of the competition, so I hope they can keep up a great result. I really like the song, it's got a really unique flavour, and that's why it's my number 8. Okay, we're gonna have to fly quite a long way to get to my number 7 country, and that is Ireland, my home country. So it's Jessica McKean featuring Sophie Lennon singing Aisling. That's quite a tongue twister, but I managed to say it. So this is another beautiful ballad from Ireland. Last year, Solace was one of my favorite songs, absolutely gorgeous. This feels a little bit more classical, like a bit more mystical, fairy song with a lot more choral type singing. I still think it's really, really pretty. I don't know if I like it as much as I did Solace, which I felt had a stronger melody, but I still feel that this has got a unique identity, and I like that kind of traditional, ancient feel that it has in the song. Jessica seems very comfortable in the limelight. I'm not getting the impression that she's going to be nervous at all. Plus she's got the support from Sophie and the delegation, so that's really going to help her. It's really fun to have Sophie back on the stage as a returning artist. She was one of the songwriters in the song as well, so that's really incredible to be 13 and already have a Eurovision writing credit to her name. Staging wise, I love this idea they've got of her being in the mystical fairy forest and then eventually reaching this kind of like autumn chateau where she meets Sophie, who's the queen of the chateau maybe or something. I'm hoping that this is going to get Ireland a second top 10 in a row. I would love as well to get another 12 from the jury. I do think this is going to be favoured by the jury a little bit more than the televote. But I think this is a really classy, lovely entry from Ireland. I would like to see something a little bit different next year, maybe like a more upbeat, fun song. But I also love this really high quality, lovely ballad from Jessica McKean. So that is my number 7. Let's do a short paddle across the Irish Sea to get to our next country, and that is the UK. It's Stand Unique singing Back to Life. This song has got so much attitude. It's got a great feel to it, really sassy. I also think that it feels really British as well. It's got a very cool vibe. The fashion and visuals are really on point. The girls look like they've got great chemistry together. We haven't seen them sing live too much yet, but I'm guessing that they're practicing loads and they'll be fine on the night. I just like how much this feels very true to the UK. It feels age appropriate as well, with some elements of British garage. I also love the fact that the UK is just going through this renaissance. Since 2022, I think the UK have been doing so well. They've clearly made some big changes. They're trying harder. They're coming up with better ideas. They're being more innovative. They're understanding the competition better. And I think this is going to keep up their streak. I have this gut feeling they're going to come 5th again. Last year they won the televote and then didn't do as well in the jury and ended up coming 5th. Maybe it could be the same again this year. Either way, I think this is a really solid entry. Really happy for UK that they're continuing their upwards trajectory. Okay, going to my 5th place song, and it's appropriate that the 5th place is held by a big 5 country, and that is Germany. It's Fia singing Ohne Worte. So this is a really touching entry. I love the story behind it, how personal and authentic it feels. So Fia is singing about her sister who has a disability and how they communicate with each other through sign language. Really lovely story, really universal. A lot of people can understand that, interacting with siblings and having that special relationship. It's so sweet, and I think it's really well managed and done as well. I think the staging looks really lovely. They've managed to get across the story. They're using a dancer, I think, to represent her sister, who kind of looks like she's a little bit in her cage, and then their ability to communicate frees her from the cage. This is Germany, I think, really improving lately. I thought Lord of the Lost were fantastic. Even though they came last, I still felt it was a huge improvement. I feel like this is a huge improvement as well for Germany. This is definitely going to get them their first top 10 in Junior Eurovision. Hopefully even better. Hopefully their first top 5. If they win, I would love it. I think it's very worthy of winning. The reason it's not a little bit higher for me in my ranking is that I don't feel like the song climaxes towards the end. I feel like it's got a real great pace to it, but I wanted like some more ad-libs, some more extra something towards the end. That's nothing to do with Fia, that is a production issue. So I wish the producers had just kind of ramped it up towards the end, given that real climactic feel that some of the other songs have. And then I probably think it would even have been in my top 2 or 3. So maybe Fia can add that on the stage. She can add in that extra oomph towards the end by adding in some big notes or something like that. But I'm very happy to see that Germany are going to do well in Junior Eurovision this year, if there's any justice in the world. Okay, now we're getting to my top 4, and this is really difficult. I will admit at this point that any of my top 4 could end up being my number 1 this year. It is really hard for me to discern them. So this is definitely not set in stone. This will change. But at this point in time, my number 4 country is Armenia. It's Young Girls singing Do It My Way. So Armenia just get Junior Eurovision like nobody else. They're number 2 in the rankings of all time. They've never been outside the top 9 ever, which is incredible. That's insane consistency. They always put in a huge effort. They choose an amazing artist, great song. They've just got a great system and formula in place. And this continues that. Malena, who won in 2021, is one of the songwriters with Tokyo 9. It's got so much attitude, so much youthful spirit in it. The music video looked really slick, this kind of futuristic spaceship vibe from 90s music videos like TLC and Michael Jackson. I love this mix of kind of like K-pop as well. They've got like on Power Ranger, like superhero outfits, all in different colors. It's just really, really fun. Very interested to see how this is going to look on stage with the vocals and at what their chemistry is going to be like, because I do think this is one of the more difficult songs to perform. Studio version wise though, I think this is really great to listen to. I love the ending. Speaking of climaxes that Germany didn't have, this has a really good ending. It's really fun and intense and building up. Really reminds me of Cleopatra from the Fendi with that like very intense ending. So really, really enjoyable song. I kind of expect this from Armenia now. They're just so high quality at Junior Eurovision. I expect them to send something this polished, complete, thought out, smart and strategic. Great song. I really hope the Yang girls do well in Nice. Okay, it's time for my number 3, and let's go to another country that definitely gets Junior Eurovision, and that is this year's host. It's France. It's Zoe Closure singing Chœur. So this song is just so well produced. As soon as I heard it the first time, I was like, wow, this sounds so well put together, edited. It's got a fantastic build up. It's got slow parts and fast parts. It's just really cleverly designed. Zoe was also part of the writing process as well, which I think is great because she's going to feel really proud singing about her story. It talks about school bullying, which is something that's going to be really reminiscent to everyone watching. There's just so much thought and passion that's gone into this. I feel that since Foulaine, France have kind of been going from a much more safer route, sending these like more standard pop songs, and that's probably the reason why it's not my number 1 right now. I do feel like it lacks a little bit of risk, but it's so well done and well produced. I really enjoyed this, particularly the final chorus. I think is really, really energetic and fun to listen to. Staging wise, France absolutely know what they're doing. This is definitely a contender to win. We've seen it before in Junior Eurovision. Poland won back to back in 2018 and 2019, and this can definitely do the same. Big heart for Chœur. Okay, I need 2 spots left, and I have to emphasize this is not set in stone. This country could end up being my number 1, but at this point in time, my number 2 is North Macedonia. It's Tamara Gruevska singing Kazimi Kazimi Kor. So this is an absolutely sublime Balkan ballad written by Darko Dimitrov, who is done a lot of the North Macedonian songs. Really, really, really pretty. Beautiful, soft entry into this stirring instrumental that's evocative of walking through the Balkans in the autumn. Absolutely divine. As a performer, Tamara is so excellent. Really powerful, strong voice that sounds really mature and competent. And then on stage, she's got a great command. She looks and feels really, really super confident. This is such a strong package, the songwriter and the song and the artist. North Macedonia have never been top 4 in adult or junior Eurovision. Their best result in adult Eurovision was 7th. Their best result in Junior Eurovision was 5th twice in 2008 and 2009. I think that this can get them their best result ever, top 3. I would love it if this won and we had Junior Eurovision in Skopje next year. That would be so much fun. Generally, I worry a little bit about North Macedonia's staging. Many people disagree with me, but I think their staging just lacks that wow. Not necessarily that it's bad, just often I think it doesn't elevate the song, which is kind of what you need to do if you want to get into the top 4. So this year I'm actually quite excited because I think their visuals look stunning. This kind of like Japanese mystical garden, really, really pretty. Plus Tamara is so talented. I think that she can pull this off even though she's on the stage on her own. So I really love this. One of my favorite instrumentals that we've ever had in Eurovision. I absolutely adore it. I really would love North Macedonia to bring something similar actually in adult Eurovision once we get confirmation that they're going to it. But this is a really great entry from them, and that's why it's my number 2. And now we get to my number 1, and I think from a process of elimination you've probably worked out that this year at this point in time, this is not definite yet, my number 1 is the Netherlands, Sepp and Yasmin, Holding On To You. So the first time I heard this, I thought it was an absolute bop. I was like, is it okay what I'm listening to? This sounds very risky, very unusual, but for some reason it just works. It's really high energy and fun. I think it's something that some people might consider a little bit kind of like a corny beat, but I think it really works. It's really fantastic. I think the Dutch in this song sounds really great as well. After the second chorus, they have like a post-chorus where the Dutch sounds really great. I really enjoy that part the most. There's lots of change up in the song as well. We have Yasmin going into a slower part, but it doesn't feel awkward. It feels like it meshes with that club beat. So somehow Robert Dorn, the songwriter, has managed to mesh club beats with a like solo ballad singing part, and it perfectly meshes together. I just love how risky this is. It's not obvious or going for like a formula. It's just like writing a fun boppy song. It feels like a good follow-up as well to Luna last year, who also had a fun party song, really just getting the party started. I think it's so lovely, and I think these songs are harder to write and pull off than some of the ballads, so I really respect risk and difficulty in writing a song like this and making it work. Very excited to see their staging. Could the Netherlands get their second win? It's definitely possible. They're closing the show, which is perfect for them. Fingers crossed that the Netherlands can at least, it has to be top 3 at least. I really hope that as a minimum, but potentially also getting the win. Seb and Yasmin, fantastic. So that was my top 10. What did you think? Let me know your top 10 in the comment section down below. I don't want to see who your favorites are as well. Let's have a look at the Eurovision Scoreboard to see what songs other people are enjoying. So in 10th place we have Georgia. 9th place we have Ukraine, which I think is a really sweet song as well. Really going towards a younger demographic, really fun and upbeat, really nice from Ukraine. Estonia in 8th place. Hoikkemetkoku, I think the name of the song is. Also really love a song just outside my top 10. If the staging is really great, I might move it up. Germany in 7th place, Spain in 6th, 5th place is the UK, 4th for Armenia, same as me, 3rd for North Macedonia, 2nd for the Netherlands, and 1st place we have France, but at this point in time, they are less than 100 points ahead of the Netherlands. So actually the same top 3 that I have, but in a slightly different order. Actually, we've got the same top 4. So I'm a real basic bitch this year, just liking what everybody else likes. My number 5 is different though, so yeah, I'm a real groundbreaker there. But yeah, really high quality this year. I think everybody's great. They're obviously all really impressive. Just being able to get up on stage and sing a song takes such a huge amount of courage, and they're all really fantastic. So I really think this year is very good quality, and the stagings look amazing. So really excited to see them live on stage. Thank you so much to Richard from Seattle for supporting me on Buy Me Coffee, and also to Matthias M for supporting me on PayPal, and Annika and Monzitia for supporting me on Super Thanks. If you want to support the channel in any of those ways, I'll leave links for you in the description. But as always, thank you so much just for watching. And of course, a gigantic thank you to all of my amazing Patreons all over the world for supporting me on patreon.com, where you can see the undistorted versions of my music reaction videos. You can get early previews of some of my videos and also about what I'm working on next. So definitely go check that out if you enjoy the channel. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another Junior Eurovision video very soon. Goodbye.